Hello everybody, it's Merlin here, and this is going to be my reaction review continuing the Gintama story arcs. This one's the Umibozu story arc. Now, basically in this one, this is kind of, I guess, the most serious that Gintama has gotten so far, for sure. What happens is there is some alien monsters that get loose, and they're terrorizing things. It's actually this pretty destructive thing. It's like something out of The Thing, this huge giant monster with all these teeth and just kind of slowly going around eating people. The whole backdrop for it is there is this movie apparently playing called Yakuza versus the Alien, and Gintoki has gotten a job trying to advertise the movie, going out, trying to, praise it and get people to see it and saying, oh, it's awesome. And that's just kind of the subtext for it. But within the plot of the episodes themselves is this sort of a samurai versus the alien. And that enters the great alien bounty hunter, Umibozu. And I'll tell you right now that this might be pretty obvious, but thus far in the show, Umibozu is probably my favorite character outside of the main group. Like, this guy's just really awesome. In addition to being this really amazing fighter that's hunting aliens, he's kind of a legend that everyone's kind of scared of. It turns out he's actually Kagura's father. Plot twist. And we actually really get to see Kagura's backstory. So she's the first person of the main group to really get a significant backstory that we haven't known about yet. And you also kind of can tell immediately because her fighting style involves this umbrella. So does Umibozu's, and that's where it comes from. Basically what happened was, as we know, Kagura is extremely powerful, and she joined Gintoki's group to kind of use her abilities, her great strength, to do good as opposed to destruction. Because apparently in her world, they're extremely violent, and they're really so deeply rooted in tradition that it's actually kind of to a fault. And it actually is the reason that her family broke up, because apparently in their culture, the sons have to challenge the fathers to murder, essentially. And so Umibozu's one son attempted to kill him, and he realized that he was at a point where he could have killed his son because he was in such a rage and so used to creating such violent acts. And he remembered Kagura being so upset by witnessing the violence of her family being torn apart, which is why he left for so long. But he decided to finally come back and bring her back. Gintoki's kind of like, well, this is your family, you should just go, you don't really belong here. But, Shinpachi kind of even convinces him, like, how could you say that? Like, you don't realize that she really likes being here. She's part of the family, basically. There's a reason she wants to do good on this world and not go back. There's a reason she left. And Gintoki doesn't seem to realize it at first, but when it turns out that there are aliens going to attack her and her father as they're leaving, he gets involved because he really does care about her. Of course, he doesn't want to let anybody know about that. So there's a little bit about Gintoki there, is that he doesn't like to reveal his emotions immediately, but there's a lot more going on beneath the surface despite that buffoonish exterior, which is something that we kind of could tell earlier. But we get a little bit more of that here. So basically the rest of the arc follows them fighting this alien and trying to save Kagura, and she almost nearly dies, so it's pretty intense. But at the end, Umibozu leaves and Kagura decides to stay on Earth. But the final part of the arc is actually one episode which is a lot more comedic. And basically, Kagura decides she doesn't want to go immediately back into the bar. She's kind of sitting outside observing her friends saying, oh, I wonder what they're going to think now that I'm gone, how they're going to deal with it. And she gets really mad when everybody seems fine with her being gone and they're not really worried about her. And then some more characters get introduced and they fight over who's going to be the main female badass of the show. And they start making jokes about the tropes in each series, about like the different aspects that a female character has to have. Once again, I thought that was brilliant. It's kind of funny. I'm starting to notice a pattern with Gintama. Now, for those of you that are wondering, has this reached the status of greatness yet? Not quite. I will say this. It's definitely my favorite story arc so far. I think that the blend of comedy with some dramatic stuff was really good. But, the actual drama with Umibozu and his backstory and Kagura's backstory, so far, she's my favorite character. She's just so complex, so tragic, so likable at the same time. I really like her a lot. As of right now, she's the best just because of what we know about her. And Umibozu was just a really awesome character, and I hope we get to see more of him, which I'm sure we will, because he was this really awesome fighter, and he does have this dark side for sure, but he's also really funny. Like, he's really insecure about his bald head and his age, and him and Gintoki have some exchanges with each other. It's pretty funny. But it's interesting, kind of like with the previous arcs, this is the first time I actually feel like there were enough episodes that the main dramatic components of the story felt like they were fleshed out. There was enough there. It was all explored. The last couple ones, Memory Loss, Trained Samurai, they were a little too rushed, and I thought that was something that took away from them. This one was much more balanced. But also, like the other ones, it's funny because I have been trying to get into the more serious arcs of Gintama because I understand they're actually among some of the best, despite it being more of a parody series. However, it seems like each one of these serious arcs has like an episode or half an episode devoted to just complete comedy again that kind of either reflects the main arc or comments on it in some way. And I have to say, as much as I really like the dramatic stuff, that final episode with all the girls fighting over their position was absolutely hilarious. And I thought it was a great compliment to the rest of it. It was just really fun. And that's the thing I like about it, is that the comedy is smart and it's self-aware, and it's commentary, I'm guessing, on anime and manga, Japanese culture, but also just on like superhero tropes and fiction writing in general and audience expectations. And the characters are also likable. I mean, I'm really liking Gintama a lot, and I'm really enjoying these arcs, and I'm looking forward to talking about them more. So, yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking. I know I've got a couple more arcs to go through, and then I think I'm going to be watching the movie soon. So, hey, keep me updated. But let me know what you guys thought about this one. I still don't think Gintama's quite at greatness yet, but I feel like I got the first real taste of it this time. So, really awesome stuff. All right, everybody, Merlin out. Stay magical.